What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build a video. Today we're going to be breaking down the game so that I can explain to you guys why certain categories are important, what about them is important, which ones are not important. So if you are somebody who struggles with the game in general, or maybe you're always broke, you have a city that needs fixed, I recommend that you, one, follow the Missy's Building Guide, okay? If your city is several years old and you insist on trying to fix it because you have a bunch of old contest mayor's buildings, this video is going to help you tremendously. All right. So, what is the Missy's Building Guide? Basically, what it is it is a guide that takes all the aspects of the game and it tells you what to do to be the most efficient player possible. In terms of, like I said, efficiency. Now, one thing that people don't realize about this game is even though it is just a city builder, there is a lot more to it. And all categories within the game actually have some purpose. So oftentimes what will happen with players who struggle is they end up in a situation where they don't implement all the categories in the most efficient way possible. They cut out certain categories because they don't want to play them. For example, maybe you're somebody who hates the war feature. I don't blame you, I hate it as well. But there are positive and negative things that go along with playing war, with the contest of mayors, all that stuff. So, what you have to do is you have to look at the game as a whole, or what we're going to do today, is we're going to look at the game as a whole, and we're going to take all the categories within the game, okay? And we're going to say, these are the positives, these are the negatives of these specific categories. How can we implement the positives and leave out the negatives to ultimately create what would be considered a perfect city, which is basically what I did with the Missy's Building Guide. The only difference is, with the Missy's Building Guide, we were starting fresh, right? We were taking a brand new city, and we were implementing all the ways to not make mistakes, and in turn, it basically created a phenomenal city that dominates the leaderboard, wins constantly in the contest of mayors, and you pretty much unlock everything within the first 90 days, and you just have an enormous amount of resources, okay? I do have a album in the link down below that says the Missy's Guide Progress Report. If you're somebody who did start a city on the Missy's Building Guide, do your progress report and submit it into that album so that other people can see your progress. If you're interested in looking at people's progress, all you have to do is click that album, okay? All right, so if you are somebody who already has a current city, what you're going to do is you're going to analyze your current city by the criteria that we're looking at today. So here's the thing. I can't individually look at every single one of your guys' cities and say, okay, you specifically are going to change this, this, and this, okay? But I'm going to teach you how to look at your city, and then you'll know what to change, okay? That way, I don't have to individually answer everybody's questions, and that way you guys have a better understanding of how to get the answer I would be giving you. So rather than just giving you the answer, I'm going to teach you how to get the answer for yourself. So, breaking it down into subcategories. One of the biggest mistakes with SimCity Build It that people make is leveling up too quickly. I'm sure you guys have heard this by now. I'm sure you know this by now. If you're here watching this video, you probably are somebody who never has enough space to hold anything, you're constantly broke, you can't win in the contest of mayors, you just get nowhere, okay? So, leveling only happens when you upgrade houses. Now, there are different types of houses within SimCity Build It. All of them, except one, is a negative outcome in terms of efficiency, okay? What I mean by that is this. Every single house besides one house that you can build does you no good in terms of efficiency. When you build a house, it costs you experience. That experience then levels you up, and by leveling you up, you unlock more items within the game. You have a limited number of items that you can hold. So the more items that you unlock, the more difficult it becomes to hold a variety of items, making it basically impossible for you to play the Contest of Mayors, play War, do much of anything, right? So essentially what you want to do is you want to keep the level, the items unlocked that are at your lowest level point. So you want to keep as minimal items unlocked as possible with the highest amount of storage as possible that you can achieve. So essentially, what level would that be where you could, dominate all aspects of the game? Well, that would be level 24. So if you're somebody who already has a city built that is a higher level than that, it's going to become more and more difficult for you, right? So the first thing that you need to look at when analyzing your city is your level to storage ratio. That is going to be the biggest thing. So whatever level you are right now, you should probably stop leveling up, okay? 100%. If you are above level 42 and you've already unlocked all the items within the game anyways, besides whatever regional maps you don't have unlocked, then what you will probably want to do is analyze, how much storage you have and determine if you are capable of winning the Contest of Mayors with your current leaderboard. If you are, then you should start winning the Contest of Mayors as much as you can. And if that means you have to upgrade, then you do so, okay? Because right now, camping, when you've already unlocked all the items anyways, it's really not doing you any good. It's actually just holding you back, okay? So learn the high-level comm technique that I show you guys on my channel. Dominate your leaderboard and start winning the Contest of Mayors as much as you can. Whatever cash that you obtain that doesn't have to be invested into the following week, you may, depending on your storage amount, if your storage is above 400, then I would just do your best with unlocking it from feeder cities and whatnot. But honestly, right now, there's not going to be a lot of storage on Global just because of the fact that everybody needs it. Nobody's selling it. So, yeah. You can spend your cash that you earn in the Contest of Mayors on storage pieces from here and there, but don't bankrupt yourself every single week just to do so. But I would definitely get a move on trying to get that done, okay? Now, you have airport homes, Omega homes, regular residentials, and regional homes. Old town homes and Latin homes. Regular residential homes, which are the ones that you start building at the very beginning of the game, once those are maxed out, whether it be on a regional map or a capital map, they can transform into epic projects when you complete an epic. That house will then generate a piece of a speed up token that will allow you to speed up your production, which will in turn give you more coins, and it will allow you to finish items more quickly for the purpose of the Contest of Mayors. So, all other houses besides regular residentials do not do that though. Meaning, the only benefit that they hold for you is their appearance. Whereas epic projects normally look better when you pick the category that you like. So you have appearance with epics, you have that they generate a speed token, you have that they are a low service demand, and they are a high pop. Once converted, they are worth 2,411 in population. So it's like a win-win all the way around. So what is the cost to have such a win-win? Well, the cost is going to be that you actually donate the items to the house, which is very, very expensive depending on what level you are. The more items you have unlocked, the more expensive the epic projects become. So, if you are somebody who is leveling up, it's going to cost you, right? It's going to cost you later. So, essentially, when you hit level 24 and you unlock epic projects, what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I'm going to stop leveling here because now I've unlocked epic projects. Now I can complete them for their lowest possible cost. Okay? The more regional maps you unlock, the more items you unlock, the more expensive your epic projects will become. Once you establish whatever level it is that you are, whether you're 30, 40, 50, whatever, that will determine how much they're going to cost. All right? Now, it doesn't matter what level you are, but you need to start building epic projects. You need to. Once you start building epic projects, it's going to be very, very, very expensive. Okay? But these houses are going to give back to you forever. Eventually, it will pay off. Okay? You will really thank me later when, no matter, how much money you spend that day, you have enough speed tokens to your city generates 5 to 10 tokens a day. Every 24 hours, your city is giving you 5 to 10 gold tokens a day. That is going to, it could be more depending on how much you make, but in general, that's where you would want to be at, okay? For example, my city generates, I believe, like 7 or 8 tokens a day in gold tokens. If I run that on nails or donuts and flour, I can make a lot of money in just, 8 hours, okay? I can burn through them during the contest of mayors, and it makes everything so much easier. If I need a specific item for something, I can just throw a gold token on it, no problems. Now, a lot of people, what they will do is they will save up their tokens, and then they never build epic projects because they have this mound of tokens already. But once that gets depleted, once it's gone, there's nothing replenishing it, right? So now you've used up all these tokens, you're a high level, and you have nothing regenerating them. Your city's not giving anything back to you, which sucks, right? Now, maybe you're somebody who never uses tokens, but you always complain about being broke. Gee, I wish there was some way you could speed up your production so you're not broke, right? Make your epic projects. They are a really good asset to have, okay? They really are. Now, I have videos that show you guys how to get them done for as cheap as possible. There's no reason, unless you are playing the contest mayors and doing your epics for the purpose of an assignment, there's no reason why anybody's epic with the maximum storage capacity should take longer than 15 to 20 minutes, okay? That is more than enough time if you have the right amount of pointers and the right amount of space. It is no, it's no coincidence that people, no, coincidence is a bad word. We're going to scratch what I was going to say. Let me just say this, okay? If you are having trouble completing your epic projects to the point where it's taking you longer than an hour to 2 hours, odds are it's because you're not prepping well or you don't have a large storage capacity. If you do not have a large storage capacity, that means you have to purchase the items as you go, which is going to take longer. And considering that epic projects ask for hard to get items, that is going to make it it's going to make it very expensive. So whatever you don't have in inventory, you have to supplement in cost. Meaning, if you start an epic project with a low inventory space and maybe 200,000 coins or whatever, odds are you're going to spend that 200,000 coins versus your inventory. So you're going to be one broke motherfucker. Okay? Now that we've established the importance behind epic projects, the contest of mayors. What about that is important? Well, it gives you simscash. It gives you platinum keys. In the lower leagues, it gives you coins. Okay? So, for all of you people who are not playing the contest of mayors, what are you going to, what are your city goals? So, the one thing that a lot of people don't do with this game is they don't set goals. And you absolutely have to. There's a couple different types of goals you can set. You can have a war-based city, a contest of mayors-based city, design city, high pop city, omega city. Okay? Or just I kind of do whatever, whenever, however city, which is not a good plan. All right? Which is where most of people fall into. They kind of do whatever they want to do that day, and they have no real balance, no real goals, so then everything becomes a struggle, right? So let's say that you're somebody who wants to have a decent city. You want to be able to build a good-looking city. You want to have a lot of revenue. You want to be able to afford things when they come up, and you want to implement certain aspects of the game to do it. Well, that's the problem. You have to implement all aspects of the game if you want to have an efficient city. So you're going to take every single category on this list and you're going to implement the positive and leave out the negative if at all possible. So, contest of mayors, how can you implement that into your gameplay to make it better but not worse? You're going to learn my technique and you're going to invest in the contest of mayors. Only what you need to in order to win. Not any more, not any less. Okay, you're gonna go all in, whatever it takes to win without it costing you. And only what it's gonna take to win. In other words, if you can win without having to do those ridiculous milestone assignments, if you don't have to do 65 house upgrades, don't. In fact, if you think that that is something you will need to do to win, don't. Okay, that is way too much experience. You have to weigh out the pros versus the cons, right? If you have to give an enormous amount of experience to achieve a small amount of chump change, that is not beneficial. Take what you've already spent in the contest of mayors, plus what they're asking, and then look at what you're getting, and ask yourself, is it worth it? Don't bankrupt yourself just for shits and giggles, okay? Oftentimes what people will do, and game developers know this, is as long as they can win, they don't care the cost. But that's because it's as they go. For example, what I mean by that is this. Let's say that, and the milestone assignments kind of put everything into perspective for people. But let's say for a minute that the contest of mayors just started, okay? And I come to you and I say, okay, you can win right now if you pay me what you were going to spend to win. I want you to pay me 900 simscash, X amount of tokens, X amount of coins, X amount of items, all this stuff. I'm going to lay it all out for you and tell you this is what it cost you last week to win the contest of mayors. I want you to pay me what it was going to cost, what it cost you last week, this week. You would probably look at what I'm asking and say, no, that's ridiculous. I'm barely getting anything in return. But yet we do it every week, right? Because we want the win. But we don't look at the cost because the cost is not in full right in front of us. It's as we go. So throughout the week, I say, all right, another $20 for a flight, another $20 for this flight, another house upgrade, another this, another that. And then throughout the week, you gain Sims cash from, winning war, or, your Sims cash kind of goes back up a little bit. So you don't notice a little bit of what you're spending, but you're still spending it, right? You replenish items that you were spending. So those are coming back. You are replenishing coins that were spent. So you're kind of seeing it go down, up, down, up, down, up. And then you get your little bit of chump change and you don't really realize what you're actually spending. Now, that is when you have to say, okay, I need to actually calculate what I'm spending and determine if it's actually worth my time. Now, let's go back to the beginning when I said you're going to pay me to win. How many of you guys have more than enough points to win? How many of you guys did, let's say you had like an 80K lead, and then you invested even more and more and more. So you're not just paying to win, you're just paying for extra points. Same thing happens in war, right? You donate astronomical amounts of coins and inventory and whatever. And the end result is the same. You're going to get what you're going to get, whether you invest $500 or whether you invest $1,000. The reward is still the same. So you want to invest the least amount into it to get whatever it is you're going to get, right? Now, oftentimes what people will do is they will invest more than what they're getting simply just to get the victory. That's ridiculous. Do you know how many people actually pay real money every week to lose the Contest of Mayors? I'm not kidding you guys. Now, with hackers the way that it is right now, I wouldn't even be playing it. But in general, if you want to fix your city, you need to invest in the Contest of Mayors. That is your number one thing, is that you learn how to pick your assignments properly so that you can score as many points as possible without having to bankrupt yourself. Okay, it's going to cost cash. It's going to cost coins. The Contest of Mayors is not cheap, but you need to make sure that you're actually gaining something. For example, if I invest 800,000 coins, I don't expect that I'm going to get that back because I know that the Contest of Mayors reward is for cash and plat keys. It's not for coins. So what I have to do is I have to determine, is that amount of coins worth what I'm getting in plat keys and cash? Yes, it is. Coins are easy to get, especially since I'm doing crazy amounts of epic projects, right? So you got to look at it like that as well, you know? So now that you have determined that you need to play the Contest of Mayors to benefit your city. So let's say that you want a design city. You want a city that you can make beautiful. In order to do that, you need to earn buildings. Contest of Mayors buildings. You need to be able to purchase things within the menu. The way to get that revenue is to play the Contest of Mayors. Okay? Let's say that you want a high pop city. That means that you need to invest in buildings. Okay, so preferably, technically, if you really wanted, you know, a high pop city, you could probably do it with just gold keys and cash. You know, you don't absolutely need the platinum keys, but just a high pop city isn't that much fun to play, to be honest with you. It's not. Now, if you have a war city, that's going to be even more tricky. So if you're somebody who wants to be a war player and you have a higher level city that is in bad condition, I really recommend that you restart because war is 100% debt. Okay, so let's look at the war category. This is the one that is going to be the one that a lot of people struggle with. So the number one thing that people cut out of the game is war because they don't like it. And I don't blame you. I hate it too. Okay? So remember when I said that you have to look at every category and you have to implement it to be most efficient. When I wrote the Missy's Building Guide, I included every single category within the game, and I took what was beneficial about that category and I cut out the negative. So, what is beneficial about war? If we cut out war 100%, what does it do for our gameplay? Well, let's see. War is a debt. That's it. That's really all it is within this game. When you take regular items and coins and you convert them to war items and then you launch an attack, which then converts to war points, which go towards getting war items from the VU pass. So they're giving you war boosters, war cards, and war items in exchange for an astronomical amount of coins, simscash, keys, whatever. Okay? Like, you have to upgrade your war cards, that's going to cost you keys. So, basically, it's a flashy slot machine that is eating all of your money. That's all it's really doing. So, why on earth would we play it at all? Because in order to be good in the Contest of Mayors, in order to win the Contest of Mayors, which we already concluded that is beneficial to your gameplay, there are certain assignments that require that you participate in war. So you need to do what is required of you in order to be beneficial in the contest of mayors. What does that entail? How much do you actually have to participate in war to be beneficial for the contest of mayors? Well, the first thing is every time the VU Pass refreshes, you should be unlocking the first and the second tier. So you should be launching jackpots, launching attacks, enough to finish VU Pass 1 and VU Pass 2. VU Pass 3 is a joke, okay? You're going to stack up as many boosters, war simoleons, and war cards as possible, okay? That way, when you get an assignment for launch war booster, when you get an assignment for upgrade war cards, when you get assignments to launch war attacks, you can do those assignments. And that is the only time that you participate in war, is for the purpose of the victory prize and for the purpose of the contest. If you're investing any more than that, then it's no longer efficient for your gameplay. It is only for entertainment purposes. Now, a lot of people like war, okay? And that's totally fine. But right now, until your city gets fixed, you don't do things for entertainment purposes. You do them to be efficient to your gameplay. All right? If I told you that you could go into a casino and that if you put 20 bucks in slot machine A, you would double your money and leave. That is your option. And you can do that every day, once a day. You would do it because it's efficient, right? Okay. But if option B was that you could do it and continue playing other slot machines, but you definitely would lose, but you would have fun, would you do it? That is what war is doing to your gameplay. It's distracting you and entertaining you, but totally screwing you over in terms of efficiency. Okay? So, until you are in a position where you're not going to walk out of the casino doors completely broke and starving, then you can't afford to lose that money. You can't afford to lose all your coins, your inventory, and whatever, just simply because you want to. You can't afford to launch 25 war boosters you didn't need to launch just because you want to play games with somebody on the war screen. Okay? It's not beneficial to your gameplay at all. So until your city is in a position where it can take on that kind of debt for your entertainment purposes, then it's not beneficial. All right? Cut all of the aspects of the game that you are doing that are costing you. For example, just upgrading houses that don't do you any benefit for the purpose of they look better is the same concept. It's not benefiting you right now. So until you can afford that cost, you shouldn't spend it. Okay? The VU Tower. A lot of people ignore this. They don't like launching it. They only launch it for the purpose of the contest of mayors. Really what you should be doing is you should launch this damn thing as much as you can with Meteor Strike 3. Meaning you need to get your VU Tower up to VU Tower level 7, at least. This is the best for keys to VU item ratio. Okay? So, if you have assignments for the contest of mayors, and that is the correct choice, then do them. If you need to hold VU items for the following contest of mayors, do so. But if you have an excess amount of VU, do not sell them, launch them. Coins converted into gold keys is a better resource overall. Okay, it's going to help you purchase epic pointers, pop boosters, buildings that are good for design, upgrading war cards when you get assignments in the contest of mayors to do that. If you're somebody who wants high pop city, it's going to help you get buildings to do that. It's basically, it helps you in all aspects of the game. It helps you in the contest of mayors. It helps you in war. It helps you in high pop city, design, everything. epic projects, so you definitely need to implement it into your gameplay. In November, there's a 50% off sale. You're going to want keys for that. Okay? All right. Omega. Now, Omega is very similar to War. It is just a debt. That's all it is. Its intended purpose is just to cost you money. Okay? So, what do we know about Omega? Omega has houses, a couple of buildings, which aren't even that great, and then it has services, and then its purpose in the contest of mayors. Okay? So, Omega homes. Do you like the look of them? If the answer is yes, then same thing I'm going to tell you about that I told you about War. You are not in a position right now with your city to be building Omega homes just because you like the look of them. Okay? So right now, until you can afford that cost, you need to put that on the back burner. What else? The buildings. Okay, right now, you cannot afford to spend your Neo-Simoleons on the buildings that you like that are Neo-Simoleons, which there's not many. It's like a beach building and a bridge. Not a big deal. Okay, so cut that out. Next thing, Omega Services. Now, this is where it's at, okay? Omega Services work towards all houses. The water, the power, the sewer, and the garbage. So, what you want to do is you want to build all regular residential homes. Converting them to epics is giving you the highest pop amount in terms of how much it's going to take up on your map. Because the service demand is lower on an epic project, you can actually fit more epics than you can Omega homes. So what you would do is you would actually buy the Omega services and then have your epic projects as your main house. Okay? Your main house is on your map. So, you're going to buy, with your Neo-Simoleons, Omega services. Then you can bulldoze whatever other services you purchased and get some coins back. This is going to save you space. It's going to look better. It's going to give you some money back. Stop purchasing regular services and start purchasing the Neo services. Now, do not upgrade your Neobank. Do not upgrade your Neo storage, your Omega storage, unless you're somebody who plans to have a large amount of Omega items. In that case, things are going to be a little different for you. Okay, so right now we know that we're investing into Omega services. Now, when do we invest that? How many canisters do we make and why? Well, like I said, right now we can't afford that kind of cost. So what else do we have in terms of Omega? The Contest of Mayors. So if you have to play the Contest of Mayors to benefit, then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the Contest of Mayors and what it's asking of you in terms of Omega, which up until this recent update wasn't asking much. But now it's asking for a ridiculous amount of stuff. So you're only going to do the assignments that are not going to bankrupt you. In other words, the best assignment for high-level players in terms of upgrading houses. Omega has a really good algorithm attached to it. It's an easy assignment to get done. You put down a construction zone. You do the first upgrade on the house, which only costs 1 Omega item. Place down a new construction zone, 1 Omega item. You're going to do that each time you have an assignment for that when that is the correct choice. Don't start upgrading Omega homes and having it cost you 15 damn items or something ridiculous, okay? Just do the one. For the purpose of the contest. That's it. You don't have to bulldoze the house or anything. You can save it for later. So what we've concluded is that we are going to invest in canisters for the purpose of the contest. We are going to do Omega house upgrades for the purpose of the contest only, until your city is in better condition to do other stuff. All right, regionals. What purpose do they serve? Are they beneficial? Do you need them? Da, 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 da. Okay. You should not unlock a regional map if your city is in bad condition. Okay? You really should have max storage before you unlock a regional. Or damn close to max storage. That being said, every time you unlock a regional map, you unlock items that are difficult to get. They are hard to produce because they require items that are not profitable. Overall, they are a complete pain in the butt. They are a total pain in the ass if your city is in bad condition. It's going to require more storage. It's going to cost you a lot more in terms of epic projects. All aspects of the game can now ask for regional items like house upgrades, airport deliveries, cargo. Everything becomes more expensive, okay? So whatever regional maps that you currently have unlocked, basically what you're going to do is just set up a grid layout on it, lay out your pop boosters, do your upgrades on that map, if at all possible, okay, for the purpose of the contest, and do whatever you need to for the purpose of the contest to get those assignments done. All right? When November comes, you can determine how many regional coins you have, and then you can purchase whatever regional trees, hotspots, whatever. But basically, try to keep those under control, because unlocking more if you're already in a bad position is not going to help you at all. All right? Design. Right now, that is on the back burner. Design is not efficient. It is not going to help you get more coins. It is not going to give you more Sims cash. Overall, it's not efficient. You design when it becomes when your city is in decent enough condition, then you do it. For example, you don't go and renovate your house when the bathroom already works, the kitchen works, everything works because you want new tile when you're already in debt and you can't pay the mortgage, right? Doesn't make sense. So, you make sure that all your stuff is taken care of first, then you can start doing things for luxury, all right? Population. Increasing your population is not a priority. It's not. As long as you have the necessary things required to be efficient, like you've got the global HQ unlocked, you've got the airport unlocked, you've got the 5-slot factories unlocked, population is not a requirement. Anything beyond that is just pointless. Okay, fine, you get a little bit more taxes, but by the time you get done dinking around putting down a whole bunch of houses and paying for extra services, you got problems, right? So, right now it is not a priority, all right? Coins. That's going to be a big one. So, how to get your coins in order? Really quite simple. You need to cut all costs besides rares. Storage, VU, dozer. Those are the only things you should be purchasing. And you need to start mass producing the correct items. There are 3 types of items in the game, okay? In terms of what I'm talking about. And give me just a second here. You have the ones that you buy to keep, the ones that you sell, and the ones you produce, okay? The ones you buy to keep are either materials for profitable items or non-profit, hard-to-obtain items. Non-profitable, hard-to-obtain items, right? So, melons. They're not profitable to make, but they're hard to get. So when you see them, you buy them, right? Sell. What items should you be selling? High profitable, easy to obtain items. So, what is a high profitable, easy to obtain item? Donuts, right? That would be one. You can sell pizza, you can sell ice cream, whatever. It doesn't mean you should be producing it, but you can sell it because it's of no real use to you to hold it. It doesn't make sense to hold on to an item and take up unnecessary space that could be holding a harder to obtain item if you can simply just go to global and get it anytime you want. So I'm not gonna, hold on to 10 damn pizzas when I could just go and buy them on the global market if I need them. I would rather that 10 space go to something that I can't just find whenever I want, right? Produce. What items you should be producing are high profitable items. If you're going for coin, if you're going to replenish inventory, if you're going to prep for an epic project, then you're going to produce harder to get items that are not profitable. Okay, things like beef, cream, bread rolls, things that you don't see that much on the global market, but you need them in order to get whatever it is you're trying to get done, whether it be the contest of mayors, epics, whatever. Okay, so if you want to make coin, watch my coin videos, watch my how to hit 1 million coins quick, watch my production videos. Very beneficial. You will do fine if you implement those tips. All right. Cash, plat keys, gold keys. Why is cash important? Well, let's see. We need it for pretty much everything. Playing the contest of mayors, unlocking shop slots, getting buildings, pop boosters, everything. All of it. Okay, so SimsCash is important. Plat keys, what are those used for and why do we need them? Well, they're mainly used for buildings to purchase, 4-pointer buildings for epics. For design, plat keys honestly are not super, super, super important. They're just really hard to get. So they're important if you want to design your city. They're important if you want 4-pointers for epics easily. And if you're somebody who, wants to upgrade certain types of war cards, they are required for that as well. So, yeah, they're a pain in the butt to get, though. If you have them, you should hold on to them for the November sale. Gold keys are so much easier to get. They're used for all the things that we talked about earlier when we were talking about the VU Tower. Okay, blueprints. Blueprints basically they're obtained for designing in the design challenge. You submit a design, people vote on it, you get blueprints. The blueprints are then used to purchase rewards from the design pass, whether it be buildings, rares, whatever. They're not super important. They just recently added into the game that you can get blueprints from purchasing stuff, like SimsCash or whatever. They're not that great of an asset. I mean, if you have some and you want to spend it on, some stuff in the design pass, great, but they're not like the other resources in the game where they're super important, okay? Airport and cargo. What is the importance behind those and when should you implement them into your game? So airport and cargo are pretty much a debt, unless it's for the purpose of the contest, in which they are the main reason why the contest of mayors costs you so much cash. Then you really shouldn't be doing it outside of the contest of mayors, okay? So if you're a low-level player and whatever it's asking you to donate is not exceeding the amount that you would be gaining by selling the items that you're getting, then great, go ahead. In other words, if you only have to donate, hypothetically, 500 coins worth of stuff, and then you can then take that airport item and sell it for 2,000 coins, then it would be a benefit. Go ahead and do it. But if it's going to cost you, I wouldn't do it, okay? Unless you have to for the purpose of the contest. That's the only time you should be doing cargo and airport. If you're doing cargo to get keys, that is wrong, okay? It's a waste. It is. If you're a low-level player, then you're probably okay. But as a high-level player, it does not make sense to hand over 3 gnomes, 2 pizzas, and 15 eco bags for 1 damn gold key when you can just simply launch the VU Tower and get it for so much cheaper. Okay? Taxes, roads, and cost and income. Taxes, we already talked about that. They're not that great for the population ratio. Taxes are calculated by city level, city pop, and city happiness. Okay? So they really don't go up that much. Based on just population. Roads. Roads are nothing but debt. You do not have to pay. Okay? Watch my 3 red roads video. Set your roads up to never need upgrading again. If you wish to upgrade them at a later time, when you can afford to, because you like the look of a certain type of road, then great, do that. But that is the same concept that we talked about with the Omega, that we talked about with the War. You can't afford it right now. It's not something that you should be investing in at this time. It's not going to make your gameplay better. It's just going to cost you money. Okay? So for now, set your red roads up. If you don't know what that means, trust me, you'll want to watch that video. Okay? It's going to save you a ton of coins. Cost and income. That's basically what it comes down to, everything that we discussed in this video. You're looking at every aspect of the game, and you are saying, okay, these are the ways that I can implement them to benefit me, and these are the ways that it's going to cost me. Stop having things cost you. Start implementing everything to be a benefit rather than a negative, okay? A positive versus a negative. So, take everything that we discussed today and implement every single one of those categories, because what you guys are doing that's making your city garbage is you are taking this list and you're cutting out certain things that you don't like. You're just cutting out work completely. And it's affecting your contest of mayors, which is affecting the way that your city is going to progress. If you are cutting out making decent coin, that is affecting your epics, your war, your contest of mayors, your overall gameplay. So if you look at every one of the categories that we talked about today, and you can say, okay, I haven't really been launching the VU Tower. I have or haven't been making too many Omega items. I haven't been implementing the services. I've been dinking around and buying things for design when I can't afford to. I've been focusing on population when I shouldn't be. I haven't been setting my shops up to be efficient. I've just been making whatever I want, whenever I want. I haven't been selling the right items. I've been selling just whatever, not realizing that my storage management has everything to do with my success. What you sell also has to do with how much money you get, okay? If you're selling items that are non-profitable items, that are high-demand items, and then later having to cut into remaking those, so now you're cutting into your profit time to remake items because you didn't hold them, it's going to cost you later. So look at all these aspects and ask yourself, how many of these were you screwing up? How many of these categories were you not properly devoting stuff like time to? Probably all of them, right? You're probably somebody who does what I call running in place. You open the game and you have no real goal. You just kind of play. Maybe you launch a few war attacks, maybe you don't. Maybe you do just a few contest of mayors assignments just to earn whatever. You don't ever really win. You just kind of make whatever you want. If a house upgrade is there and you have the items, maybe you do it, maybe you don't. You don't really care. Playing like that will result in a city just like Build It With Smith has. Okay? A garbage city that gets nowhere. You have to set goals for yourself. You have to constantly be working towards something. If you can't open up your game from this week to last week and notice a huge difference in something with your game, you're doing something wrong. Okay? You should be making significant progress, especially since most people that play this game, especially when it's, the beginning of playing the game, they spend a lot of time on this game. It's not something that they sit down and play for like 10, 15 minutes or an hour. It's something that they are picking up and playing all throughout their day. Look on your phone and see how much time you spend on this game. And ask yourself, What have you accomplished in that amount of time spent? What do you see on your screen that's different, that is for the better in X amount of time? For example, I have somebody in my group who's been in my group for like 6 years. And she spends quite a bit of money on the game. She spent a couple $1,000s on the game. Every time I go to her city, it looks the exact same. She's pretty much accomplished nothing. She hasn't maxed her storage. She's got, epic projects, yes, but most of them are silver. Just overall, she's not getting anywhere. Okay, now I've got people on the Missy's Building Guide who have 90 days into the game and like $40 tops, maybe, if that, more like $20. And they've maxed their storage. They've got everything unlocked. They're winning the contest of mayors. They've got all gold epics. I mean, they're doing excellent. Not all gold epics at 90 days, but by the time they get to like the 6 month to the 1 year mark on the Missy's Building Guide, they're doing phenomenally because they're setting goals. They're implementing the parts of the game that are efficient. Okay? When you constantly fall for EA's tricks of debt, that's what they want you to do. And you're going to suffer for it. Okay? They want you to spend all your coins and items attacking on the war screen so that you don't ever get anywhere. They want you to spend all your keys upgrading these war cards in astronomical amounts. Because instant gratification. You will spend $4.99 versus a week worth of your time to fix your city. You'll spend $100 for 2 months of your time. That's what they want. So what you should do is make it to where your time isn't going to take that long. Make it to where you can achieve those goals in a lot less time so that you don't have to spend any money. Okay? Good luck to you guys. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions at all about your city specifically and you want my help, you can reach out to me on my Facebook page. Just make sure that you message my main Facebook page. Okay, if you message the SimCity Build It page, you'll get a message back with a link that is for my main Facebook. All right? If you haven't already done so, click like, click subscribe, put in a video request down below in the comment section. We are currently accepting members into Neverland. If you're interested in becoming a member of our group, you would need to watch our new members video and watch the group rules video. Once you've watched both of those videos, send me a message on Facebook. Let me know your digits. You'll know what that means once you watch the video. And I can get you in, as long as you're at least 18 years or older. Okay?